We made some homemade cough syrup and they love it. And that's not really tomato basil pasta sauce. It's actually the cough syrup that I made in here. And they love it. Huh?
Can I please have one or more?
Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. I am going to just share what I did this weekend with the kiddos because it's Halloween weekend, and you know, I just wanted to share what me and the kids were up to. So this was Friday. They had their ramble class and I decided to get the kids ready, like Halloween-ish ready. So I decided to get Armand into a little skeleton costume. These are actually skeleton PJs that he's had for like a year now and he still fits them. So I decided to just throw these jammies on and then do a skeleton face on him. We've been watching the movie Xoxo and they love that movie, so I thought it would be really cool to dress him up into a little skeleton, and he did really good. He was so excited to do his makeup, and he never usually likes to get ready, but when I told him, hey, we're getting into a costume and it's Halloween, we're gonna do your makeup and stuff, and he was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. He was like, yeah, make me into a skeleton. So he was really into it and he had a blast. My daughter was actually sick and I decided not to take her to Ramble. I was like, she's staying home with me, but she still wanted to do her makeup and all that. And Claudia said, why don't we turn her into Candyland, because she has some Candyland PJs that I got from, I think it's like Children's Place or something. And I was like, dude, that is such a good idea. So we just decided to make her up into like a Candyland, and she had such a blast. It was like the cutest thing. I ended up taking her to the mall with me and everybody was like, oh my goodness, what are you? And I was like, she's Candyland. They're like, okay, we see it. It was so funny. Ori!
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on whether I'm in labor or not. Ori! Chichua! Alright guys, so this is Saturday. By the way, I'm whispering because it's like, what time is it? It's like 9 o'clock and my kids are in bed and I don't want to wake them up. But this is Saturday. They had their trunk or treat today at the, where is it? The Hayward Library. And so I got costumes for them. My husband actually got these from Amazon, and Armand's was super creepy, but the mask was a little too tight on his head, so he ended up taking it off, and we were like, okay, we'll put it on when we get to the trick-or-treating place. And then my daughter, she was a unicorn. By the way, the shoes for the unicorn costume was very thin, so if she just wore it on its own, and if she would have stepped on anything wet, her feet would have gotten wet, so there was no protection or anything in the shoes. But of course, Claudia comes up with a genius plan to put the sandals inside the unicorn shoes and then put it on her that way so she has protection, and it actually worked. And it was amazing because she did end up getting her feet wet later on, and it was all good because her little feet were still dry. And of course I had to do like a little photo session of the two little nuggets outside of the house, and it was really hard, but I managed. The trunk or treat at the Hayward Library was actually pretty cool. I wasn't able to actually get a good recording of the setup or anything, but they had really cool activities for kids of all ages. They had a little photo booth and they had a little coloring station, and people also wore their costumes, and a lot of the people actually had fun costumes that we ended up taking photos with them, and it was pretty fun. This dinosaur costume was awesome because my kids watch this YouTube channel, I think it's called like Zoe Doodle or something, and they have that same dinosaur in there, and also like some other YouTube channels, they have that dinosaur in there. So the kids were surprised and literally they didn't know whether to approach it or what, because they're like, is this dinosaur gonna attack me, chase me, or what? But they did pretty good. They ended up taking photos with them, and of course that was pretty difficult. We couldn't get a good picture. None of them, like either one was looking or the other one wasn't. So yeah. You guys, how awesome. They also had bubbles at the trunk or treat, and my kids love bubbles. And of course we went with my sister-in-law because obviously, you know, we almost do everything together when we have little activities with the kids because our kids are the same age. They also had all these other fun activities. They had like a little tossing game, and that's my little niece there with her little Minnie Mouse costume. She was so adorable, and this was just such a blast, even though I was actually cramping during this time. I was still able to just enjoy this time with my babies because I know that I'm not going to get time with them like this once the newborn is here, and I just want to, you know, spend as much time with them as possible. We also ran into Winnie the Pooh Bear and her cubs. This was such a neat idea. I was like, let's take a photo with Winnie the Pooh and her cubs. She just had one of her baby cubs with her. I think she had like 3 others right here in the little chalk area. And look at that, they had also chalk in this little trunk or treat. So like I said, guys, they had tons and tons of activities, and they were also giving out free books. They had face painting, they had henna, they also were providing free food, and this is on top of like everything else. So definitely check it out next year if you guys are in Hayward. They also had a little hula performance from like little kids, which they were actually really amazing, and I'll show you a little clip of their little performance here.
All right, everyone. Put your partners over there in the front. Okay, it's okay. Some of you guys can have a partner and some of you don't have to. Okay, and then turn around. Bend your knees. You're gonna shift your hips right, left, right, left. Swing it. Right, left, right, left. Okay. There you go. Okay, now let's try it a little faster. Okay, you guys ready?